This is for my 8-week Comp 2 class, and so I wanted to create a video that um, walks you through uh, your essay, this essay that we're writing this week. So, sorry, I've got 5 different things on my mind. I was making a prompt for a Comp 1 class, and now I'm switching over to an 8-week Comp 2 class. And so, forgive me, I got to switch my brain to where it belongs. And I like to keep these videos under 15 minutes. So, I'm going to share the prompt and share the prompt and just kind of talk about what are we looking at here? What are we shooting for here? So, let me pause this. Share that screen. All right, so here's the prompt. I think we went over it a little bit. We talked about no, I hate whenever a word is always the social media. A social media influencer. It drives me insane. Anyway, so here's our prompt. We want to look at the documentary, The Social Dilemma. So hopefully you watched that during the first week of class. It was really important that you watch that during the first week of class. So if you haven't watched that, you're pretty far behind. So we take The Social Dilemma. I'm going to upload the script here in just a moment. But we take the social dilemma and we ask ourselves, what is the similarity between the social dilemma and a social media influencer, right? That's all we want to do. It's an expository essay, meaning that it's exposing a bigger idea, right? So we're exposing an idea about social media influence or the influence of other people that who we see on a screen in our lives. So again, it doesn't have to be Gabby Petito. It doesn't have to be Ruby Frankie. It doesn't have to be any of those. It can just be, you can also talk about a baseball player. I have a lot of students writing about baseball players and football players who we watch on screen. We watch their lives unfold in front of us. We don't just watch football anymore. Now we can follow football players. Now we can follow baseball players. 20, 30 years ago, we just watched a football game and we saw the player. Maybe we could read a little bit about their lives, but today we can see much more into their lives on social media. So here's a chance for you to tell me a little bit what you think about that. Again, you're just again watching The Social Dilemma, the documentary, The Social Dilemma, and telling me about social media influencers, right? Those influences that we have online. And I want to make it really clear, so, because I've had a student or two, talk about how, well, they don't like social media influencers. So they don't want to write about social media influencers. And I don't like social media influences either. That's why I'm having us write about them. If you do like them, perfectly fine. Write your essay that's positive, that talks about how they can be a positive change in people's lives or how they can show us. I just don't understand how it is that someone like Ruby Frankie got over 1 million subscribers of people just wanting to watch her perfect life. Like, if we have our own children to raise, get out of Ruby Frankie's life and get into your own life. Like, that's the expository essay I would write, right? I would write about, quit watching other families raise their children and raise your own children. I mean, that would be my essay, right? Without the second person you and whatnot, and much better word choice. But that's the whole point here is to tell us, expose an idea that is not like, I understand that that sounds very anecdotal and that's very opinionated. An expository essay doesn't really follow an opinion so much as it exposes a bigger idea. But again, it's just an essay where you say, hey, here's a social media influence. Here's the idea of social media influence and influencers, people who we watch on screen, people who we watch their lives unfold in front of us and the choices they make in front of us. And the social dilemma talks about some of the issues between that. So it's a 2-page essay um, where you talk about that. So the way to do that is I'm going to scroll down just to the bottom of this. So the way to do that is to think about this. Think about, what is my overall idea? What is my overall idea? Now, again, I'm just getting some ideas down on paper. So my overall idea is to um, Right. So there's an idea. That's my overall idea. Families should stay in their family and not watch the family dynamics of others unfold. Right. That's kind of my thesis statement, I guess you can say. That's what I want to talk about. Um, so I'm going to bring in all different kinds of families, but I'm going to stay with Ruby Frankie specifically, because again, a lot of her family dynamics there was just nothing but a lie and nothing but pretending to be something on screen who she wasn't, pretending to be a perfect mother with a perfect family when, I don't want to say there's no such thing as a perfect family because I think my family is perfect, even though we have flaws, right? But I think part of the flaws is the perfection, but that's just me. So I have this overall idea, and I'm going to create 3 points as to why. So I'm going to talk about 3 points as to why families should ignore fake online families, right? Number one, I'm going to redefine perfection. I'm going to talk about how, again, I find perfection in my imperfection. I know that's kind of a cliche idea and whatnot, but I'm going to use sorry, let me put my phone on silent. I'm going to use my specific life instances and, my mom was making dandelion jelly today. She's such a knucklehead. Anyway, I'm going to use my specific life instances, my life story, specific stories from my own family, as well as the social dilemma, as well as Ruby Frankie. So I'm going to redefine perfection using my life stories and Frank, right? Ah, my life stories, Ruby Frankie, and social dilemma, right? The social dilemma, but it's close enough. So that's my body paragraph number one. My body paragraph number one will redefine perfection using my life stories or a life story, Ruby Frankie, and the social dilemma. Um, and if I'm going to use my life stories, I'm going to talk about the other night when we went for a walk. My family and I we're trying to get healthier, and we walked for like 2 miles. And so and I have an 8-year old little boy who needs to be a little bit healthier, and so do I. And so anyway, so we're all walking, and I'm trying to encourage him to walk. A little because there was this trail that I wanted to go on. We didn't mean to walk for 2 miles, but I really wanted to follow this trail, and it was nice outside. It was in the evening, and my husband looked over at my son, and he just said, "Well, I'm just really proud that you've walked this far." Now, y'all guys, my husband is a very quiet person. He's very loving and very encouraging, but I rarely hear him like encourage. That was one of it caught me off guard in a really good way. And that's one of the stories that I would bring in to redefining perfection. That yes, my son is overweight and needs to be healthier, but in that, I got to watch my husband encourage him, and we get to step up and help him. We get to be those parents who stepped up and helped him, unlike my own parents. So anyway, that's I'm redefining perfection. That's my first body paragraph. My second body paragraph, I just come up with 3 points here as to why we need to not watch the family dynamics of others unfold. We're going to redefine perfection. We're going to uh, redefine perfection, not compare our right, not compare my own family to a fake family, right? So these are just some of the things that I'm going to talk about. Now, you can write this essay in a completely different, don't do that. You can write this essay in a completely different, what? Not compare, whatever you got to do. Anyway, you can write this essay in a completely different direction than I do it. You can keep it only third person. You can keep it, but about a year ago, I started using first person and then reflected into third person in all my classes, especially Comp 2, because of AI, you cannot use AI to help you write this essay. You cannot allow AI, such as Grammarly and whatnot, to write this essay. It's easy to spot. It gets a zero on your essay. I want to see what you have to write. I want to see the grammar that you know. I want to see the word choice that you know, not what Grammarly knows. I want to see how well you express yourself and not how well Grammarly can express what you have to say. So you cannot use those. And that is why I like for students to use personal experience in their essays and all their essays. Um, I ask you to do that. You don't have to, as long as you stray from using AI to write your essays. So this is kind of my thesis. All right, family should stray should stay in their family and not watch the family dynamics of others unfold online. I should put online. 3 points as to why the thesis statement. We're going to redefine perfection. I'm not comparing our family to a fake family. Um, right, so I'm exposing a bigger idea. It's an expository essay where we're exposing a bigger idea. And the big idea that I'm exposing is what happens when families watch other families online, right? I'm exposing this idea. What happens when families compare their family to other families, this fake idea of families online. So again, you can write anything that you want. You can expose any idea that you want. There are some criteria. Make sure you have a target audience. Brief, I can't write. Have a target audience, right? My target audience is families. Yours can be young adults, yours can be teenagers, but you cannot say words like everybody, everyone, people, you, no second person you, right? No second person you. So you cannot have words like everybody, everyone, people. We don't want to say people should stay in their families and not watch other people of others on, unfold online. We don't want to say people. We want to say families or young adults, mothers, fathers, whatever athletes, if you want to plug athletes in there. So make sure that you have that specific target audience, right? And that's all that this essay is. It's a 2-page essay where you're exposing an idea between social media influence or influencers we see online and the social dilemma, right? You want to bring some of those in. Um, so that's it. So here's my thesis statement. We want 3 points that expose the thesis statement, 3 points. Here's my 3 points that detail the thesis statement, right? Redefining perfection using my life stories. I'm not comparing my family to a fake family. See, I mean, a third point, I'll think about it and upload that. But anyway, so have a target audience. Mine is families. Use academic diction. CADEM. Use academic diction and strong verbs. We want to stray from I think, I believe, I understand that, I believe that, I think that. We want to stray from that and just state it, right? What? Okay, whatever. I guess if I put this there. Um, so you want to have some strong verbs, some strong diction, academic diction, and just write a 2-page essay. Make sure that you have a correct works cited page. Have a correct works cited page and in-text citation. Right. So you have to have two sources. One is from your influencer and the other one is from Social Dilemma, right? So make sure you have two sources. And I'm going to upload an example essay here soon that exposes mine that I'm going to write, and it'll show you how to use how to use those sources properly. All right, that'll be, let's see, today's Tuesday. This is due by Monday or Tuesday of next week. I have to look at that. It's due at the beginning of next week, so we can move on to the next essay. And So get your ideas down, get it organized, and we will look at those citations. So anyway, I'm going to write mine and post it online. But hopefully this helps. I really want to see what I mean. I'm pretty easygoing. What I like to look at is that you have thoughts about that the social dilemma and social media influence, and that you're detailing those thoughts. And the second one is that you are using your sources correctly. So those two, and that you can, so those are the three ideas that I'm looking for. One, right? That's the first one. The second one that I'm looking for is that you can structure, RUCT, an academic essay. And three, you can use your sources correctly. So that's what I'm looking for. You can detail your ideas about social media influence, you can structure an academic essay, and you can use your sources correctly. The last thing I'm going to say, and I really don't mean to be mean, but I understand that every semester I have one or two students who, I don't want to write about social media influence. I don't care about social media influence. Well, I mean, I don't like algebra either, and I had to do algebra. So, no, I don't let students choose their topics. I learned a long time ago that if I don't want to just constantly read about sports and basketball and why I love to play basketball, I have to give students something to write about. So, no, in my class, students don't choose their topics, but I do leave it very open-ended to where you can just choose about a basketball player, but this is what you have to write about that basketball player or that football player or that actor or actress. So if you're thinking, well, I don't like social media influence is a very, very, very broad topic to where just about everyone is able to write about influence that we see online, influence that we see in TV, influence that we see in movies, anything like that. You can write about it as long as you apply it to the social dilemma of that documentary. And so that's the topic. And let me know if you need some help.